Hi, everybody. My name is Michael McDowell, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the why behind rigor redefined. Rigor redefined is the idea that learning is not hierarchical, but in fact taxonomical. We don't say Bloom's hierarchy, we call it Bloom's taxonomy. The problem is that the visual pyramid creates the story that types of learning are prioritized. Take, for example, the learning of food chains and food webs. In a hierarchical perspective, we would be thinking about defining food chains and food webs as the first level of learning. And then we would stack that on the idea of that core idea of how energy dissipates within a system, followed by the idea that we would now look at real world situations, such as reintroducing wolves or removing an invasive species like the python in Florida. A hierarchy suggests that there's a linear progression with one skill or concept building upon another in a strict order. A taxonomy, on the other hand, acknowledges the diverse and independent or interdependent elements of learning that often overlap and interact in a more complex manner. When we learn about food chains and food webs, we may start with being alerted to the invasive python in Florida or the zebra mussel in New York, and then move towards the rationale for why this is an issue, and then learn more about specifics around food chains and food webs. Even more, we will likely go back and forth between these different types of learning and reinforcing ideas and pick up concepts we forget or that we forgot in this particular moment. As such, rigorous learning is about balance. We need a balance between knowing things, relating things, and applying things, or surface and deep and transfer. In practical terms, a taxonomy of learning provides educators and learners with a more flexible framework, more linking to how learning actually is in the real world. It accommodates critical thinking, it allows for the integration of interdisciplinary perspectives, and instead of this rigid hierarchy that may stifle creativity or discourage exploration, a taxonomy encourages a more fluid and adaptive approach to learning and to education. In conclusion, I wrote this book because I thought that we should really be aligning rigor or rigorous learning to how we actually learn, and to make sure that students have the opportunity to engage in surface deep and transfer each day, or at least across a week, and not thinking of deep and transfer as some event that we might get to at some point in time. Or in the flip, we might see schools that might deprioritize surface, and then students don't get the background knowledge that they need. This is the idea of making sure students get all of that, and that teachers can engage in that in small and doable ways. So if you'd like to learn more, please join us on hingeeducation.org. You can also send us an email, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks, everybody.